What's poppin', T Squad? It's me, Keisha, and I'm here tonight with my growing up hip hop. What's it? Growing up hip hop, Los Angeles. I think this was the season finale review, if I'm not mistaken. There will not be an encore review this week. I'll be back next week with the review. I've been having some personal things going on in my life, so if I skip a review here and there over the next like week or two, that's why. I'll give you guys more context later. But yeah, so on to tonight's review of Growing Up Hip Hop. So we start off exactly where we left off on last week's episode with Egypt about to perform. So she gets out there and she starts performing and she's doing a good job. Like I didn't really see anything wrong with it. Was it like the best thing I've ever heard? No. But Sam Ass is behind, is in the audience coaching her like he's on an episode of Tyler's and Tiara's or Dance Moms or some shit. It's like I'm a cool mom. It was like, what are you doing? Like you look so stupid. It was like get up on the stage and just perform it yourself, girl. Just like go up there and get your goddamn 5 minutes of fame. He like, yeah, go up the steps, just like we planned. Yeah, you got it. Ooh, shimmy. 1, 2, 3, jazz hands. It was like, what are you doing? The brat kept on looking back like, what in the hell is going on? It was just so ridiculous. So she gets done singing and the judges critique her and the brat was like, do you write your own music? She got the stuttering Thompson, I write, and as well as other people, not wanting to say that it was Sam that wrote that bullshit because no damn well you didn't write that, he did. And so the brat tells her, to sing songs that come from your heart, because she felt like Egypt in certain areas of the song didn't really feel comfortable. But he didn't brainwash that little child, so she gonna take that shit with a grain of salt. So then we see Bree's performance via tape. She wasn't there, of course, because Peppa and Egypt was there, and Egypt don't want that smoke. So I felt like Bree's performance was the best performance of the night. It had a vibe to it. The music was great. I liked her lyrics, her sound. Like I want to see more of this side of Bree. I want to see this come out of her. Like, who knew she had all of this talent bottled up this whole time outside of all the chaotic energy she normally brings to the show? Um, so at the end of the showcase, the artists Foolie, Jack, and Egypt end up winning the opportunity to go on Trina and Trick show in the morning. So after the performance or whatever, Sequoia, JoJo from Jodeci's daughter, goes and sit by Denise to ask her was she being shady when she said to her that, you look like you was the mother and you was the daughter to her mother or whatever. Because she said to Sequoia, you look like you was the mom and she looked like she was the daughter. And like I said, when you're first meeting somebody, it could come across shady, especially when you don't know somebody. It could come across the wrong way. Knowing Denise and seeing her on this show, I don't think she meant any harm. I just think that she was just kind of like just talking and wasn't even really paying attention to what she was saying. But I would have just took that shit with a grain of salt. I wouldn't even took it that far. But you can tell that she was feeling some way and the producers amped her up to go and make it an even bigger deal than what it actually was. So Denise was like, no, like I wasn't being shady or nothing like that or whatever. So they come to an understanding, but you do see Denise like go like this, like, girl, please, like that when they're talking, like she rolls her eyes and Sequoia calls her out on it. So they going back and forth, and Cree jumps in, was like, "You got a lot of Simmons beef, cause." And she was like, "How do you figure I got Simmons beef?" She was like, "Cause Savannah told me." And he was like, "Oh Lord, once again, Savannah is some bullshit." But Tanisha was like, "There was no eye roll, and if y'all want to play these games knowing my situation, I will really fuck it up in here." She was talking to the cameraman and producers because she's 4 months pregnant. Like, why would y'all even start this bullshit knowing that I'm pregnant? um and knowing that I have just lost the baby before this, I would feel some type of way too. Like how far will you go for reality television? It's one of those moments. It's like the producers got to produce a show, but at the same time you got to have some type of moral integrity of starting something with a pregnant woman who already is fearful because she just had a miscarriage. And it's like, that's why I say the line that is told on these reality televisions, it really fucks with people's souls. Like because people have really like broken themselves down to do the worst of the worst for check a notoriety, a little bit of fame. Like it's crazy. So she stands up or whatever. She's very upset now. Jojo comes over trying to find out what's going on, trying to calm her down. Sequoia was like, "You feel like I have negative energy because I'm asking you a question." And Denise was like, "I feel like you're coming at me with a tone and your tone can get checked." And I'm like, okay, Jesus Christ. So Sequoia was like, "My tone could get checked." And she stand up with a drink like she's about to throw it on her. And I was like, Jesus Christ. Like, I don't think she knew, of course, that Tanise was pregnant or whatever. But it's like, girl, you only been on the show 5 seconds. Jesus Christ, sit down, little angry ass girl. And I just hate the whole thing on reality shows. Like when somebody want to do something, they always got to pick up something. Like, what happened to just swinging on a motherfucker? If you supposed to be so tough, like why everybody got to throw something? Like, so amateur hour at the Apollo. So Tanise talking about we could throw hands as everybody's trying to calm her down and stop her. And I'm like, okay, now Tanise, you want to sit up here and throw the pregnancy card. I'm pregnant. How y'all bringing this to me? But then you steady talking about some you gonna fight, knowing you pregnant, knowing you had a miscarriage. Just like, okay, girl, I understand you feeling some type of way, and she pressed you or whatever the case may be, and y'all had words. But remember, you are a pregnant woman. Like, girl, sit down somewhere. Like, you doing too much at this point. So Cree visits Vanessa um and sits down in the chair child as they go and talk on the balcony and breaks the chair because her booty too big. Booty so big. The shit was hella funny. So she tells Vanessa what happened with the whole Sequoia situation and how Sequoia got into it with Denise and how Sequoia feeling some type of way about Angela. Now, mind you, we all found out that the dude in question, that is her baby daddy, is the NBA player Brandon Jennings, who is for the streets and for everybody. He dated Angela. He dated Tiana Taylor. He actually cheated on Tiana Taylor with Lashante, the actress slash video girl model, and had a baby with her. It was a whole beef between Lashante and Tiana because they was cool, and it was just a mess. It's just like, and y'all not together. This man that went on and had a whole nother baby with somebody else, and you sitting up here mad about some shit. Like, what are you talking about? Like, she looked crazy. Like, for that to be your opening storyline for coming on this show, you look crazy. You look stupid as hell. Ain't no way in hell I would even be using it as a storyline. I wouldn't even be claiming this nigga. It's like, girl, have several seats. Like, please, like, you're a pretty girl, you have a little bit of talent, you come from a, you know, R&B legacy family or whatever, but like, this is not the look. This is not the claim of fame, sweetheart. Have several fucking seats. So Vanessa, like, I don't even know who this girl is. And she was like, she can't come around no more. So now they done banned her like they banned Brianna for the first couple seasons of being around Angela. So that's what this is about to be next season. Sequoia gonna be banned from coming to certain events and shit because ain't nobody got time for her because she got into it with Denise and she got into it. Well, she want to get into it with Angela. And it's like, Angela ain't did shit to you and Denise ain't really did nothing to you. It was a misunderstanding. Have several. So Cree tells Vanessa not to tell Angela at the photo shoot because, you don't want to ruin somebody's vibe, and all this, that, and the third. So the Denton family go to their meeting so they can finally hash everything out. Sam and Sean and Tyran and Tretch meet up to talk and have their own separate conversation. TT, her mom, Pep, and Egypt meet. So, um, Peppa says that she had to do damage control with some of their family members because of this whole Sean situation because they was like, what's going on, this, that, and the third. And she was like, it's not as bad as you think. Oh, bitch, it is. Oh, bitch, it is because your old ass even getting involved in this shit says a lot about your maturity level and how fucking retarded and crazy you are, you fucking psychopath. So they all meet up. Egypt come in the room. with her Studio 54 top on and her Hot Topic jeans and her Bobby Brown, I don't big crew haircut and them big ass brolic ass arms of hers. I'm like, Jesus Christ, workout much? So Sam and Sean have their sit down. Tretch kicked the shit off saying, where the fuck uh you think the problem is at? And here goes Sam over there. How is Sean the problem? Sean ain't did shit but be fine and make me want to suck on that knob. So Sean was like, hold on, hold on, hold on. I love Sean's voice. It's hoarse and deep. Yes, ma'am. He was like, hold on, hold on. Look at me when when we're talking. I was like, no, he didn't tell Sam to look at me while we're talking, and Sam did too. He was like, I'm not buying what you're selling. I'm not here for the TV tough guy puffed up shit. And I was like, yes, ma'am. Yeah, yeah. Yes, so TT got her a real one. So he was like, the truth of the matter is, I have not contributed to this, which he has not. He ain't did nothing. He ain't said nothing. Like, what the hell? So Church was like, years have passed. Did somebody steal somebody money? Did somebody kill somebody? Da 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 da. Y'all coming in this family beefing with each other is a fucking problem with the family. And I'm like, Trench, you ain't even a part of the family no more. Up. So back over in the other room with TT and them, TT sets a timer on her phone that was clearly edited because when the scene started, Egypt was sitting across from her in a chair by herself. And then when TT set the timer, Egypt is sitting on the couch and you see her saying, it's a lot of more stuff that I need to say. I know you got to go, this, that, and the third. So at that point, they had been talking and she set her timer probably because she had to breastfeed her baby or get her baby or something like that. But they tried to make it seem like she was like, okay, y'all got an hour and then I got to go. So, Egypt was like, you letting the world know what someone has in their bank account, whether it's high or low, it's not appropriate. I feel like you did it so the world would think I'm with a soulless man who's robbing me of my money and not treating me like the woman and the queen that I am. Well, I didn't know you had no money, first of all. We don't think he a soulless man. We just think he a broke ass man. First of all, we don't even think he a man. We think he a broke ass little boy. Third of all, was it wrong for TT to bring this thing up about she heard that Sam only had $300 in his bank account? Yes, it was fucked up. It was fucked up. Like if that was me and you said that about my nigga on national television, knowing that's what the world gonna go run with, I'll be feeling some type of way whether it was true or not. Like that's some shit you tell me off camera. You know what I'm saying? So yeah. But after that, I would have checked her on that shit. And if she would have continued, that would have been that. But she was coming at Egypt on some big cousin, I'm looking out for you type shit. Cause she see this nigga for his works. And she know that Egypt ass is being fucking manipulated. Um, so while she talking about all this, I'm a woman and he treating me like the queen that I am, TT looking like, what? Like the faces she was making had me cracking up because we always looking at the TV like, who and what the fuck am I talking to? Because this girl sounds crazy. So TT was like, anything I've said about Sam has not been something I've made up or that he hasn't brought to this platform. Like, ain't nobody lied on this nigga not once. So uh she was like, Egypt, what lie have I said? Pepper was like, you ready to go there? You ready to go there? Girl, shut up with that fucked up Whitney Houston. Oh, I want to dance with somebody ass wig you got on, girl. So TC was like, go ahead, go ahead. So after that, we go to commercial break and we get our little 1 minute fix of Twist, which was funny. He was having a conversation with Bree, telling her about the showcase. And I just want to know once again, why was he demoted this season? Why was he edited out? We barely saw him. Like, what's going on? I can't wait to talk to Cree to see if she got any inside tea. So Angela does her photo shoot. Body on everything. Gotta give it to her whether you like her or not. She has a dope shape. Vanessa arrives looking bad and bougie and beautiful. Then we go back to Vegas where Trish tells Sam and Sean that all they gotta do is be cordial at this point. Like y'all ain't gotta be besties, y'all can just be cordial. And I agree. Like all of this is just too team much. So Sam was like, I don't agree with doing dirt. I have nothing to do with the cheating rumor. Yeah, you ain't got nothing to do with the cheating rumor, but you had your hand in a lot of other shit. And yes, you do believe in being messy. You was a messy bitch. So he brings up TT mentioning his bank account, and Tretch was like, no family should be talking about no other family business, especially when it's degrading. Last I checked, this nigga wasn't family. Neither is Sean. None of y'all are family. You ex family, first of all, Tretch. You ex family with a whole new family. This nigga was just a boyfriend when all that shit happened. Sean is a baby daddy. Ain't neither one of these niggas family. Ain't none of y'all niggas family sitting in this meeting except for Tyran. So all of y'all need to shut the hell up. And at the end of the day, Tretch, you have watched this show, you have seen this shit, and you know that Sam Ass has been the problem of the main problem of this whole thing. And I don't know if he's just not bringing that shit to the table because he don't want Egypt to push him away or stop talking to him. But it's time for you to step up being daddy and be real about the situation and realize your daughter over here being mind controlled and shit. Like, come on now. So, Sean was like, so you had nothing to do with the rumor. Sam was like, no. Sean was like, do you really think that Sahira is in love with you? And Sam was like, no, which we all knew. So if you know that this girl was never in love with you, why did you perpetuate that lie on television talking about she in love with you and then had Egypt over here thinking that this girl liked you, but you ain't messy and you don't like dirt? Girl, make it make sense. So Sean was like, from this point on, we agreed not to get in Egypt and TT's, business. If you have an issue with Tahira, you call me. And if I have an issue with Egypt, which I never have, you give me a call. They agree. So then here comes Sam Thompson. I don't want to just be cordial with you. I want to be family with you. And Trash even was like, okay, girl, one step at a time. Like, you're doing too much. Have several. Like, you got your camera time, little lady. Ugh. So then back in the room with the ladies, Egypt goes on this rant. You sabotaged my reputation. You sabotaged me and my reputation. You have all of my followers because people like you because they think you're the victim. So this is about followers. This shows you how immature and how young she is. She's sitting up here talking, so you have all of my followers because people like you and think that you're the victim. But I'm the victim. I'm the victim. Oh my God, I'm the victim. Marsha, Marsha, Marsha. It was like, oh my God. Like she was literally, her head was about to combust. She was sounding crazy. So, TT was like, before I damaged it, what was the reputation? Child, I'm about to stop, drop, and roll out this bed because I'm like, exactly, Tahira. What was your reputation before this? Nobody knew who you was. Your reputation before that was coming on this show was with wigs that was too big for your hair and horrible eyeshadow and big brolic arms. Like, other than that, you didn't have a reputation, darling. What are you talking about? So Egypt was like, I'm a princess right now, but I'm gonna be a queen one day. I have a legacy to live. I'm a queen. I got blessed to be in this woman's womb. This is hip hop. I am it. This is my place. You tried to take my place, Flash. You wanted the lifestyle. I'm like, don't nobody want to look like a hooker on Rodeo Drive. Like your mama look a mess. Her and her dry, crispy ass wigs, her botched booty. She over here dating gay porn stars and shit. Who want y'all legacy? You act like your mama is Beyonce, bitch. You are not Blue Ivy, Rumi, or Sir. Girl, if you don't get somewhere and set the fuck down, Thomas, I was blessed to be in this woman's womb. Girl, what you and your dusty, dirty daddy? Girl, your daddy fine, but he looked like a dirt dog, but like he don't even take baths half the time, especially back in his naughty by nature hip hop parade days. That nigga looked like he literally rolled out of ass. I rolled out of bed and never washed his ass. Girl, bye. Please bye. So TT Mama was like, I find it very hard to believe that you can sit there and say that Tahira ruined your reputation. Egypt Thomas, I don't. I don't. So Tahira mom was like, you're the one who portrayed yourself in a certain way. And I was like, hey man, Egypt Thomas, I didn't. She don't want to take no accountability for this fuck shit. So Tahira mom was like, for the last 2 years, Tahiri Tahira hasn't mentioned Sam. You haven't even spoken. Then it's dragged up again, and you bring in Dawn. TT was like, y'all brought Shine into this, and for me, that's where I draw the line. Y'all got me back. Good for you. Because we all know this was their way of trying to humiliate her and get her back or whatever. Which the fact that, once again, Peppa even involved herself in this and plotted against your own niece, knowing your niece didn't have no ill will when she was trying to stop her little cousin from making a huge mistake. You like, come on now, like, stop. And the fact that you would do that to your own blood says a lot about you, you co-core. So Egypt was like, if you can't take being burned, don't start the fire. Girl, I just want somebody to beat her up because she's so stupid. So TT gets up to leave, and Pepper Thomas, you see how disrespectful she is, always trying to leave. And TT was like, and I'm fresh too, and I hope you fed that Don that line too. Pep was like, you always want things to be on your time. You don't never want to sit down and have a conversation. So TT sits down. So TT was like, I never told you Sean cheated on me. Pep was like, you kept saying in Jamaica, I'm done, I'm done. TT was like, baby girl, you talk to spirits. When TT told that lady she talked to spirits, child, I hollered. So Egypt was like, I'm the one that's the victim. I have a lot to say. Let me talk. I'm the victim. Please let me talk. I talked about this with my therapist. Let me talk. Please let me talk. It was like a little kid having a temper tantrum. Like, it was like, what is happening here? So at this point, TT so thrown off about how she acted, she calmed down herself. She was like, you fully believe how you feel. We had this talk and I respected it. I don't want to see you crying. You feel what you feel. Egypt was like, and you don't care. Family will work it out. But see, she's so young, she don't realize that when you're a grown person, you don't have time for drama and you're going to avoid it at all costs, whether it's family or not. And in certain situations, you have to wipe your hands of certain things and certain people. And she doesn't get that right now because she expects for and she wants TT to be like, I love you. I'm going to be here for you. Fuck everything that y'all have done and said about me that you even went along with. Fuck all of that. We're good. That's not life, darling. That's a fairy tale. So uh TT was like, uh you want me to say I did certain things that's not the truth. What I've said about Sam in my past has created hurt for you, and I apologize for that. But please don't blame me for other things, or let's talk about it. So Pep was like, this is what we needed. Moving forward, we'll be cordial when we see each other. And I believe next season they're going to leave her alone. I do believe they're going to leave her alone at this point because they did what they set out to do, which was embarrass her and make her look crazy. So now it's like we even type shit, which is so pathetic. So the guys minus Tretch come back in. Egypt in her confessional was like, will I ever trust her again? No. Have I lost a lot of respect for her? Yes. And I'm pretty sure she don't give a what? Fuck. So Sam was like, I want to make it clear that I'm sorry for bringing friction into your family. Once again, trying to have his moment, trying to be the Beyonce out of Destiny's Child. The and they was like, okay, okay, girl. So the producers asked TT, will you invite them to your wedding now? And TT was like, I don't know. It'll take a lot more work. Girl, don't invite them niggas to your motherfucking wedding, girl. Don't do it, Bernie. Don't do it. They ain't worthy and they ain't welcome, child. Them motherfuckers over there is Satan's spawn. Let them go on and be because Egypt fucked up in the head. Her mammy fucked up in the head. Her daddy fucked up in the head. And that nigga she fucking with, he fucked up in the head. But he got everybody over there on marionette strings. That little nigga that made a name for himself and manipulated his way onto this television show. And he did it. He did it. He found the most insecure, low self-esteem having ass, delusional ass little girl he could find. And he got it and gone with it. So I applaud you, Sam. I applaud you. You go right ahead on. Because at this point, Pep deserve whatever she gonna have, get in life, and so does Egypt. Can't even feel sorry for her. And I feel sorry for her because Ooh, child, she got a road ahead of her. But anywho, so that's my review of growing up hip hop. I love you guys. Make sure to thumbs up this video, like and subscribe, hit that notification bell button, and I will see you guys on the next review. Bye.